to Gaming the System, where we're going to bring to you one of our bonus rounds. And I'm here with Matt and Alex. And today we are talking about, I don't know, is it outrageous or amazing or awesome or our favourite costumes? But anyway,
notable
costumes. We're talking about notable costumes today. So we're doing our top 9. So we're doing 3 each, as we are missing Caroline, who's off on her holidays. I'm going to start with Matt, please.
Okay, so my first costume, I think I'm going to go with the iconic, the start of a dynasty, Altair from the first Assassin's Creed game. Because now that we are 10 years on from the first Assassin's Creed game, it's one of those franchises where you can't imagine it not having existed. And it's such an iconic look, the eagle looking like hood. Not quite as cool when I go like that. And the shape of the robes, the white and the red, and of course one of the most iconic weapons in the history of gaming is the hidden blade. I remember just being completely floored by this game when it came out, because no one had ever done such massive open worlds that you could traverse, as everyone loves free running. Getting free running right makes the game just incredible. One of the best free running games is Dying Light, where there's a zombie apocalypse and you're sprinting through this fantastic Middle Eastern city. And just getting the flow of everything, and you properly feel like this ninja assassin, and the look of it is so important, and you really get that feeling from playing in this costume.
The belt is very reminiscent of the wrestling belt, isn't it? That same sort of look going on there. But I can see it's practical because it looks like he's got knives in there or something. There's pockets there. So it's like a practical but iconic outfit. Yeah, I like that. That's very cool. Okay, Alex, who's your first, or what's your first?
Well, now that Matt has mentioned Altair, I'm going to go for the next person in that game series, which is Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2, which takes the original outfit one step further, and is, I would say, one of the most recognisable outfits from the series, because he's got that red collar and obviously the red cape behind him as well, and it just takes Altair's outfit to another level, and it represents the Renaissance, which is the period that you play in. It's grandiose, and it's kind of pompous in a way almost. So it's just reflecting the character of Ezio Auditore da Firenze in all his Italian splendour. And I think it's definitely one of the outfits that carries on through the series as a legacy, because it's always an unlockable outfit in every Assassin's Creed game, pretty much since as far as I can remember. That and Altair too, so I'd say we've kicked off pretty well with the most classic outfits from the Assassin's Creed series as double Assassin's Creed fans.
It really was. No, go ahead.
No, go on, Matt.
It was the Assassin's Creed 2 was really a renaissance of the franchise itself. It started off being very like sandy and grey, and the colours were very dampened. But then they properly went, okay, we're going to go to Renaissance Italy, and the colours exploded out in the extravagance. And they made the main character much more playful and charismatic and less serious. And they made his costume so much more. There's a vibrancy that comes along with Assassin's Creed 2 and the other Ezio ones, And yes, I think my favourite part of this costume is the. It's not a cape, is it?
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know what you
I'd
call them.
describe it as a cape,
special
but
word, isn't it?
I don't know.
Something, but I remember it was so cool because whenever you do anything,
Yeah.
it flops behind you,
Yeah.
and then when you stand still for a second, you go and it goes again and flops back over. And I thought that was awesome. And when you go, I think I don't know if you can do it in number 2, but in the other ones you can change the color
Yeah.
of it, and that being able to change color up until they stopped really emphasizing it after I think Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity has some of the most incredible costumes in it, and there's so much diversity of choice. That's I wish they'd go back into doing that because they do it really well.
Yeah, I like that. It's interesting. He's got a beard in this one. I don't think he had a beard in the first one.
No, I'll tell you, I didn't know.
Also, yeah.
Yes.
We'll have to do an episode on best facial hair.
We are going to have to, aren't we? I'm not obsessed with it. Okay, so I'll do my one next then. My first one is going to be Morrigan from Dragon Age 1 and 2. I haven't come across her in the third one, Inquisition, yet. I can't remember what happened to her in the first one, but in the second one, but I don't think she died. I think she was still in there. But her costume is just bonkers because I really like it actually. I've but we have talked about it before, and I have spent quite a lot of time wondering quite how she gets it to stay in place. So I'm guessing, yeah, witchy magic, and maybe some tape. I think that's how the celebs do it. So yeah, I'm guessing that. And I think the thing about Morrigan is obviously this is quite a sexualized outfit, but Morrigan's quite an interesting character because she is actually a very powerful creature, and she doesn't take any crap. You know, she wears what she wears because that's what she wants to wear, not because she's conforming to anyone's expectations or because she's trying to appeal to anyone else. And I think that's really nice because we talk a lot about what women should and shouldn't wear. And so it's nice to sort of see that, you can wear whatever you want to wear. And if it's revealing, that's your choice. But, it's not always about oppression. It's and I think in Morrigan's case there was nothing oppressed about Morrigan really, other than that she's female in the world. So yeah, no, I like this outfit.
She's such a great character. She's got such energy.
Yeah,
talking to anyone, she at any point she would just go walk off because she doesn't care about you. And I remember in the first game, like this storyline of her trying to have this weird demonic baby with someone. I can't remember what happened. She's really interesting, and I love her the actress who plays her as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic voice.
Yeah, I think she's got a little bit too much makeup on, but that's her choice, isn't it? So okay then, Matt, who's your second and our fourth?
Okay. I'll just try and find a picture of one. And this is I know exactly which one I want to finish on. But until then, my next one will be. Which one should I do? Okay, I'll go with this one. Okay. So, from Death Stranding, one of my favorite games of all time, this is Higgs, the one of the main villains. So he's the leader of these terrorists in this dystopian world, and he has control. He can control the monsters, the BTs, the beach things, these slick, black, oily, dead things from the other side, from death, which is what the beach represents. Played by Troy Baker, another one of my one of the best actors in gaming. He's sort of like, his name is Higgs, which he's taken from the Higgs boson, the God particle. He's wearing all this black, but if you look at his cape, it's got the golden livery of a pharaoh's sort of like, their like cobra thing, very heavily inspired by ancient Egypt, and he's obsessed with ancient Egypt because Egypt was. Maybe you've heard of this. You've got your ha, and you've got your ka. So that's your body and your soul, and that's a lot about. Death Stranding is all about death and connectivity, and learning about how everyone has your ha and your ka, and sometimes those can be separated. And he's got his own bridge baby, and his own special Odradek unit, which is the thing poking over his shoulder that points to where BTs are. And he's got this incredible skull mask and the hood, and it's just this massive presence that really feels powerful and dangerous and unstable. And it's extremely cool.
It's interesting that he picked a villain. I didn't think to pick a villain, but I suppose they do have some of the more interesting outfits in video games.
A hero is only as good as his enemy. So without the enemy, what's the point in the hero?
I think it's really interesting how much thought has gone into the meaning and the symbolism in what he's wearing as well.
Yeah.
As you said about the cape that he's got on, his hood and his cape and all of that. It's good work. Okay, Alex, who's next?
Okay, well, this one is a rather iconic one, and I'm gonna bring it out of the bag again. It is classic Lara. So I hope you don't mind me mentioning it again. You'll have to start a tally or something in the comments, the amount of times I mention Lara. But it is pretty much, you've got your brown boots, there you go, and then brown short shorts, and a lot of people call it a blue tank top, but I always said it was green. I don't know, it might be my colour blindness, I'm not sure. I always thought it was green. And then I read somewhere in a magazine that it was blue, and I was like, but surely not, it's green. Mint green. But,
Mint green,
yeah. Yeah. And then the gun holsters around the legs as well. And the fingerless gloves. I used to have a pair of fingerless gloves that I cherished as a child. Can anyone tell I was slightly obsessed? But yeah, it's just iconic, and you can recognise it as Lara Croft purely just from that outfit. That it's Lara. So it's probably one of the more memorable outfits from games, I would say, at least for me.
And she's barely changed, like her actual outfit has barely changed over the years. I think I played one where you could change what she wore a little bit.
That's right, yeah.
But
I think Tomb Raider Legend had the most customization. You had a lot of different outfits for that, depending on which part of the world you're in. There was I think I remember a very, very scantily clad Lara when she was in Tokyo. You go in like this really tight black dress, and then she does all this sort of Velcro noise, and it turns into one that she can actually run in, which is hilarious because it's basically 2 strips of black material on her front and her back with a slit that goes right up to basically her waist, which is ridiculous, but it's probably more practical. So you just spend the whole level running around barefoot, which I found also quite hilarious. But yeah, in terms of classic Lara, that's dead set for Lara. So yeah, it's interesting to think about how she's evolved or not, depending.
Yeah, you could do a lot of studies, I think, on Lara. Perhaps you should. Okay, well, I've cheated a bit on my last 2 actually, but we'll start with the first one, which is I was going to go with Fortnite, because the Fortnite costumes are just awesome. I mean, I've talked about how I think this is an overrated game, and it's not my style of game at all. But I do think that this is just one selection of one set of costumes that they had, and I just think it's just really cool. The whole idea of these customizable costumes is just such a great idea. It's, from a business perspective, it's inspired, and many people have spent a lot of money on it, and I've definitely had conversations with my daughter about when she was into Fortnite about that you're spending money on a virtual thing that you can't do anything with, and you're going to get bored of, and it's never going to get used. But that is what people want to do, and I think customization, as we were just saying about Lara, there is a really positive thing to customizing. We like to customize our characters, and I just think Fortnite has just some really amazing costumes. A lot of them are hypersexualized, I think, on both extremes. I think for both the male and the female characters. However, they're still really cool, and there are definitely ones where I'm like, yay, let's go kill people in a bunny costume. And I love this guy here on his little pinata donkey.
That's
and
my favourite.
yeah, so I think it's got a lot of fun, and it allows people to personalize something that is actually quite a sort of soulless killing game. So I think it's fun. I like it. Okay, so Matt, your last one.
Okay, last one. So, going from extravagance to the understated, I have Agent 47 from Hitman. He has looked the same for the last, I think, 20 something years, with this stunning black suit, white shirt, and the blood red tie with the blood red lining of the coat.
So
cool.
And again, just like with his head and face and hairstyle, just minimal. But if you saw him anywhere, you'd instantly go Agent 47. No one else has ever looked like this. There are a billion suits. Everyone wears a suit, but he stands out instantly, which is hilarious considering his main talent is blending in wherever he may be, but he's so obvious and stands out everywhere. And in the latest trilogy, you can disguise yourself as almost anyone you come across, and you still manage. You blend in perfectly. You can blend in perfectly everywhere, and it's so awesome. And I've always worn a red tie whenever I wear a suit because it looks so cool in Hitman.
Has his outfit changed at all in the years? It's always been exactly the same?
This is his signature suit. He has several variations that you can use, but this is the OG suit.
Okay, very cool. Okay, Alex, which is your last one?
So my last one, I'm diving back into Assassin's Creed, but a later entry in the series, and it comes from Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is one of my favourite Assassin's Creed games. I think it's underrated, but we can probably discuss that another time. So this is Evie Frye, and she is the sister of the twin brother and sister that you can play. And there's one part, obviously, in the game where you have to infiltrate Buckingham Palace, and you can only do that while you're attending Queen Victoria's, I can't remember what it is, it's some kind of ball. So obviously you have to wear a massive ball gown, and sort of you can only walk around in it, which I think illustrates perhaps some of the limitations of Victorian dresses at the time, which is that you can only walk. She couldn't run like in her normal bog standard assassin's outfit. But I just really think it's an amazing dress. And it did stick with me at the time when I was playing, because of course a lot of carpet in Buckingham Palace is red, so it just sort of it looked really cool in the whole environment, and it was a nice diversion from being able to sort of run around freely, to find yourself having to slow down and take in the palace and sort of gradually find your way through to where you needed to go, which was really cool.
I love how sort of uncomfortable and out of place she looks.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she enjoyed wearing it. I think I remember her remarking about how uncomfortable it was in the corset and all sorts of things. But yeah, it definitely sticks out as one of my favourite moments in the game, for sure.
I think it's really good that the outfit impacted how she was able to move around.
Yeah.
I think that's really good, and I think it's because often they wear these ridiculous outfits and just carry on with whatever it is that they're doing in whatever they happen to be wearing. So I think that's quite nice, because I think the reality is that we're all very different in whatever we're wearing. It's really cool, very beautiful dress. I wonder if where they modelled it on, if there's an actual one of those out there somewhere. Well, I'm going to move away from all of this elegant beauty, and I'm going to go with Final Fantasy. I've got two images just because I wanted to sort of show the diversity, really, because we've talked a lot about how Final Fantasy is really sexualized, and the girls often wear very short shorts and short skirts and low cut tops, and as demonstrated here by the little cat-eared creature, I can't remember her name, but I just think it's really cool. They're just really cool outfits. They always have a lot going on. There's always like floaty bits and long socks, and it's just, and the male characters are just as fancy as the female characters, and I think it's just really intriguing, fun. I think there's a lot of like cosplay opportunities there, and I will often roll my eyes at characters, but I think visually they're so appealing and interesting to look at and fun to watch, and I think there is a lot of thought does go into their costumes, and there is a lot of meaning in everything that they wear, and so I think that for me the Final Fantasy costumes are really fun and interesting. So did anyone have anything they want to add before we wind up?
No, I think I'm good.
I've said everything.
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, well that's our top 8 done, and we'd like you to like and share and subscribe, and if you can give us a review and stars wherever you get your podcast from, because that's really what actually gets us noticed and gets us seen, and comment and tell us what you think about our choices of costumes. Tell us if you think we've missed anything, and if you think we've got it wrong. No, don't tell us that. Only tell us if you think we've got it right. And you can find us wherever you get your podcast from, and we're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, basically everywhere. So yeah, follow us, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.